Opening scene, a remote, misty forest pathway near dusk, eerie ambient sounds. Narrator voice filled with suspense. Have you ever wondered what it truly means to be lost? To feel the weight of despair pressing down, suffocating, even while the world seems blind to your struggles? Tonight, we delve into a startling incident that challenges not just our perception of the wild, but exposes the very fibers of our humanity itself. Cut to the silhouette of a bear emerging from the bushes, sniffing the air. Narrator, picture this. A bear, a creature often hailed as a symbol of power and ferocity, roams the quiet woods. Typically, we view these majestic animals as mere parts of nature's grand tapestry, but what happens when their instinct meets an extraordinary human situation? And that's where our story begins, a tale of bewilderment, desperation, and the raw essence of empathy. Narrator asterisk on a seemingly ordinary evening, a bear was meandering along the edge of a seldom-traveled road when he stumbled upon an unimaginable sight, a small boy no more than 7, abandoned and crying. In an instant, this ferocious animal was cast into a role far removed from the predator we expect. Narrator asterisk, where was the boy's family? How could a child find himself alone in such a wilderness? As questions flooded in, the bear, driven by instinct and an almost uncanny curiosity, approached the boy, edging closer as tears poured from the child's eyes, each sob a resonating plea for help. This cross-species interaction was about to unveil truths that would shock the hearts of everyone who heard it. Narrator asterisk, but instead of a terrifying encounter, something extraordinary unfolded. The bear, often depicted as a ruthless hunter, displayed what can only be described as a sense of empathy. In that moment, the line blurred between predator and protector. The bear wasn't there to devour, but rather to discover, to listen. Narrator asterisk, in the towns nearby, people went about their routines, blissfully unaware of the havoc that had rent a child's life asunder. The juxtaposition was stark. While the boy faced a life-altering moment, the world kept spinning, oblivious. This begs the question, when did we become so detached from the suffering around us? Narrator asterisk, as the bear ventured closer, the boy's sobs lessened. Was it the overwhelming presence of a creature so magnificent that he felt a shivering connection? Or was it the animal's ability to transcend instinct in favor of compassion? This heart-stopping moment transcended fear. It became a symbol of understanding. Narrator asterisk, time slowed down. Their eyes met in a powerful exchange. The bear, with an almost human-like intuition, seemed to grasp the boy's plight. The world had placed both in this peculiar nexus, opening the door to an unfathomable bond, one forged in vulnerability. Narrator asterisk, stay tuned, for what happened next was not just a series of events, but a revelation that would shake the very concept of coexistence. Can a creature known for its ferocity become the guardian of a lost child? In a moment destined to change lives forever, prepare yourself for a twist that no one saw coming. Opening scene, a dark forest at dusk, mysterious sounds of wildlife fill the air. Narrator with a commanding voice, imagine walking in the woods, enveloped by the rustle of leaves and the music of nature, when suddenly you encounter a scene that defies comprehension. A bear, nature's embodiment of power and ferocity, comes across an abandoned boy, tears streaming down his face. What unfolds next will make you question everything you thought you knew about fear, instinct, and compassion. Narrator asterisk, this is not just a tale of an animal and a child. No, it's a profound exploration of the human condition and the depth of empathy that can exist in the most unexpected corners of our world. In this pivotal moment, we find ourselves at the intersection of danger and vulnerability. Narrator asterisk, on that fateful evening, a boy lost and alone sat by the side of a road, his cries piercing the silence of the forest. Abandoned, he was the embodiment of helplessness, which begs the question, how does a child find himself in such dire circumstances? Where were the guardians meant to protect him? Narrator asterisk, as our story unfolds, a bear, drawn by the sounds of distress, lurked at the edge of the scene. Instead of the brutal encounter we'd expect, this majestic creature approached slowly, intrigued rather than aggressive. What can we learn from this instinctual interaction? Narrator asterisk, the bear represents more than just a creature of the wild. It is a symbol of an innate force guided by instincts unknown to us. In the wild, we often assume that survival hinges on ruthlessness, but when faced with a fragile human so small in the vast landscape, what does the bear choose? Narrator asterisk, while the town bustled with life, the world outside moved on, disconnected from the reality of the ongoing crisis. How had we become so desensitized? It's a piercing truth, a reflection on our capacity to overlook the vulnerable among us, lost in our routines, blind to the screams for help that echo just beyond our consciousness. Narrator asterisk, as the bear drew nearer, an unexpected warmth radiated from the animal. It paused, its instinct to act as a predator subdued by an almost surreal sense of guardianship. Could this creature, often feared, instead be a protector? In a moment riddled with anticipation, the bear leaned forward, engaging in a silent dialogue with the boy. Narrator asterisk, in that breathtaking exchange, a moment suspended in time, the vast gulf between man and nature began to diminish. What happens when the creature we perceive as a threat becomes the very symbol of comfort? This poignant moment transcended fear, evolving into a striking manifestation of understanding. Narrator asterisk, but hold on. The most astonishing twist is yet to come. What may seem like a simple rescue story will unfold into a revelation that challenges our deepest beliefs about connection, empathy, and the unexpected role of nature in our lives. Will the bear become the boy's savior, or will unforeseen circumstances derail this extraordinary encounter? Stay tuned. Scene: a misty road cutting through a dense forest. The wind rustles the leaves ominously. Narrator voice steady and gripping. What if the very creature we fear the most could teach us the greatest lesson in compassion? Imagine a moment when a bear's primal instinct and raw power comes face to face with a child in despair. This story pushes you to confront the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes empathy can arise from the most unlikely sources. Narrator asterisk, this is not just a tale about a bear and a boy. It's a confrontation between nature and humanity, between fear and protection. One evening in the fading shadows of twilight, a little boy was left alone on a secluded road, crying for help, abandoned by the very ones meant to guard him. Narrator asterisk, as fate would have it, a bear was foraging nearby. To many, this would signal dread, a moment fraught with terror. But for the bear, this was an encounter that would redefine its existence. Intrigued, it approached the source of the sorrowful sounds. Imagine the confusion, the primal instincts battling with an innate urge to protect. Narrator asterisk, the boy, sensing the bear's presence, was seized by a paralyzing fear. He was vulnerable and alone, but as the bear drew closer, the unexpected began to unfold. Would this be his end, or could the wildness before him bring him solace? Narrator asterisk, what transpired next would astonish onlookers and skeptics alike. Instead of pouncing, the bear halted, its powerful instincts yielding to something deeper. In that moment, something remarkable happened. The creature took a step back, almost as if gauging the emotional state of this fragile human before it. Narrator asterisk, there in the wild, a connection formed, an understanding that transcended the boundary of species. The boy, still trembling, reached out cautiously, tears slowing as the animal remained steady, its gaze devoid of malice. The raw authenticity of this moment was palpable. Here was a child confronting his fear, and a bear, nature's embodiment of might, softly responding to it. Narrator asterisk, just as despair clung to the boy like a shroud, hope began to glimmer. The bear's presence became strangely comforting. Life, stripped of pretense, often reveals the truth hidden in the chaos. Is it not remarkable that in a world where fear reigns, we can find solace in the most unexpected places? Narrator asterisk, but hold your breath, there's far more to this encounter than mere moments of warmth. What happens next will reshape our understanding of instinct and empathy. Can the bear continue to respond with kindness in a world that often thrusts pain onto the innocent? Narrator asterisk, stay tuned, for the next chapter of this astonishing tale will unfold with a twist that no one could have predicted. What lies ahead challenges our very perception of survival in nature and the unseen bonds that tie us all together.